I feel like it's a rush if you are not financially free. Because when you have money, you can kind of, work some magic with science. But if you don't have like the money side of things, then I definitely think it's a rush.
You think it's a rush for you?
No, because I plan on having the money.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not trying to.
No, I plan on having the money. And plus, I'm about to get ready to go back to school. So I can't have kids. Well, I can. However, I want to wait another 3 years. And at that point, that puts me closer to 40 than
Gotcha.
anything. So
How much do you think it's gonna take you to raise a child?
money wise,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I haven't even put a number on it. I know it's going to be a lot, especially if I have twins, because that's double everything.
You think you're gonna have where twins come from?
I just really want twins. I want to go ahead and knock them out. Girl, boy, let's go.
I was saying, is it a method? Is it like a spin move to make like
I
twins?
mean,
like,
I don't know, but then you always got science, so we have to go to the clinic and be like, well, how can you guarantee me twins? That's what we doing.
I get it. I get it. So do you feel like women with children, um, it brings their value down
Absolutely not.
when they search for another man that's not the dad?
I don't think so. If anything, I would see it very positively. Like, especially if their kids are well taken care of and she's well groomed. If anything, I see that as being, she has like wife material. She can hold a house down. So I guess it just depends on the perspective of a person. For me, I see it as a value. Now, when you get into multiple men, then I don't know.
So do you see it as a disadvantage or a value decrease? Women that got multiple men as baby fathers?
In the generation that we're in, unfortunately, yes. Um, Depending on, I would have to say the background of it, the history of it. If you were just fruitful, multiplying, replenishing, and dominating the earth, then I think there would have to be a conversation. I would also say it depends on the man that you're dating, because I feel like some men probably just don't care. Some might care more than others. So at that point, it depends on the caliber of man that you're dating, if he's willing to accept it or not.
So the caliber of men could bring down a woman's value?
His thought process.
Like, do y'all ever do, and when I say y'all, I mean women, do y'all
Yeah.
ever look at other women and be like, nah, her baby daddy ain't it, so like she can't get in?
I don't. I'm getting to a point where I don't judge. Like, okay, I'll have a quick judgment moment. Let me say that. I'll have a quick judgment moment, but yet it quickly shifts. Because you never know a person's situation or whatever. Now, granted, I might see her baby daddy, but like, she could have did better. But just do better and we'll just forget like he exists. Well, we can't forget he exists because of the kids, but we'll just, that was just like, a little.
Some do. Some forget completely.
That is crazy.
Nah, it happens. I feel like I got forgotten.
For real?
Yeah.
But your child look just like you though.
I mean, that's my son. He lived with me, but I got two daughters, and we don't got the same relationship.
That is crazy. Because
Yeah.
when they look at their daughter, they gonna see you.
I guess they would rather do that than to actually see me.
That is crazy. That's crazy work. I'm sorry. And you're talking to somebody. I grew up in a household with both my parents, and so I couldn't ever imagine it.
Yeah. Nah, it's unfortunate, but it's people out here that do it.
That is,
Yeah.
guys, heal.
And that's what I think it's all about. A lot of people don't understand the result of trauma and how it follows you, and practically shape your decisions in the future.
For sure.
So I wanted to ask you, what trauma do you think you have that you hadn't healed from yet?
That I haven't healed from yet.
Completely yet.
Oh goodness. Whew, that's heavy. Cause I'm walking through therapy right now, and I wouldn't say abandonment, because again, I grew up with both of my parents in the household. However, we were heavy in church. And so although I was in the same building as them, I wasn't with them. And so I feel like there's kind of like some abandonment issues that that carries over into relationships. So for instance, if my significant other goes a few hours without talking to me, it's just kind of like, hold up now. It's a reaction because I feel abandoned and I'm not realizing that, he's possibly busy or something like that. So it would definitely be abandonment.
What was the situation that got real bad because of that issue? To where you had to just like tell yourself, I got to get better. This is a problem.
Oh, I got angry. I got into it with my parents. I respect my parents by default. They helped me through school. Well, they paid for me to go to school. They just always been there. And I think when I was very annoyed with them, well, not even them, I think I was very annoyed with my mom every time she kind of like talks to me about something. It didn't matter what. She'll be like, go get me something out of the refrigerator. I'm just like, so when it got to that point and I realized that I was always angry, I was just like, I gotta go get some help. And I don't even think abandonment was the first thing that I realized was the situation. I think I had put it in the back of my head, but it wasn't what me and my therapist worked on. I think it was more so me feeling damaged. I felt damaged.
But like, what was the components of you feeling damaged? I know abandonment was probably one of them.
Yeah.
But like, if you had to put that, if you had to have that to take a back seat, then what was taking the front seat?
It would have to be, I guess, me being the middle child. As the middle child, you're pretty much overlooked a lot. Not seen as much, or at least that's how we feel. Because you're competing with the oldest, or you're trying to stay relevant because of the youngest. And I'm the middle child of 3. And so I think that played a major part because I was always fighting for approval, validation, just trying to be seen and heard. So I think that laid the foundation, basically.
So what was a time that you felt like you was getting attention from everybody except the 2 people you wanted it from? Which was your mom and dad, obviously.
I can't think of anything recently or in my adult years, older years.
Well, I'm talking childhood.
Childhood? To be honest, I feel like I never got attention. Not even from like people around me because I also sheltered myself. I was very isolated. Very to myself. So I just feel like I just never got attention from anyone.
So was it specifically like a moment that like really hurt you to where you were just like, fuck it, like I'm not even gonna try, I'm not gonna ask for it no more? And I'm talking specifically about your mom and dad. Because I know you referenced being a middle child.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of relating, I'm trying to relate because I'm a middle child. But it was 7 of us, right? So in my mind, I guess, I just want to know like, in regards to your mom and your dad and what you expected from them. Like, what's a situation that you can think of that happened as a child where it was like, I wanted that attention?
I can't really name one situation. The only thing I can really remember, I think probably would have sparked it, hindsight looking back, was I didn't ride the bus to school. I got picked up by my parents. And so I think craving the how was your day made me feel like I wasn't seen. I didn't get that how was your day. Then I just went in my room and, just kind of went about my day. I just remember the repetitiveness of not being asked how my day was. Because, of course, I'm being bullied at school. Things are going on. And so to get to a safe place and no one is checking on my day, I think that took a heavy toll. So it wasn't necessarily a situation. I think it was just the repetitiveness of that.
How do you think that could have changed, like your behavior or your direction if you had that?
Knowing that I could always, and even now I can go to them about anything, but I would have learned earlier on that I can go to my parents about anything because they were like my safety. Knowing that they wanted to know how my day was. I think that would have helped with the process of healing much faster, and even in how I began to handle people as I got older. Because then it was kind of like me not knowing if they really cared how my day was, then I didn't want to just go and tell them how my day was. So I approached people differently when it came to opening up about anything.
So how often do you find yourself on the defense side of those people who say, well, you had your mom and your daddy, as if that's just magic, like that fix everything?
I've never had that conversation.
What's happening?
Shockingly. Okay. So, I believe I would tell someone that first of all, I would imply empathy, because I get it, because they're looking at the outside part of it. However, being transparent, and even my parents know this, like, granted, I had them, but somewhere, even though you grow up with both of your parents, somebody's going to lack somewhere. Whether it be they were there emotionally, they lacked financially, maybe they were there financially, they lacked emotionally. So I would explain to them how, granted, I did have both of my parents, but it wasn't 100%. I'm grateful for what I had, what I have. But that's parenting. You're going to lack somewhere.
Do you ever hold it against them?
Okay, absolutely not.
Have you ever held it against them?
Nope. And the reason being is because my parents they have a close relationship with God. And so I told them if it wasn't for their relationship with God, then I probably would be angry, because somebody was sustaining me even when I felt like they wasn't there. So, and then they were just doing what they knew to do. It was just maybe maybe I just didn't even see it the way I probably should have saw it.
So you feel like God was their staple?
Yeah, for sure.
Was he yours?
Because of them. Because I grew up in church. So I was there 5 days out of the week. Literally 5 days. The only days we didn't go was Thursday and Mondays.
Tell me a story where you felt like God wasn't there.
That he wasn't there? I don't think I got a story that he wasn't there. I feel like he's always been there for me.
Okay, well, give me an example of where you felt like God could have done more.
Oh, well, that's all time. That he could have done more.
Take your time.
That might just be like as
a child.
As a child, I don't think I have a childhood story. My childhood is like just so vague. And I think it's because it's a defense mechanism. I think I've shut out childhood a lot. And so I only remember like just certain parts. I don't remember a lot of, shockingly, the negative. I don't remember a lot of the negative. I remember a lot of positives. But thinking of a time when I feel like he could have been there more, I can't pinpoint one in childhood. And I'm trying. I cannot pinpoint one in childhood at all. I feel like he just always showed, now looking back, I feel like he just always showed up. In moments when I guess assumed he wasn't there. But I truly cannot remember a moment. And I'm trying. I cannot remember a moment.
Well, that's good, then.
Yeah.
Well, it can be good. I mean, you familiar with the forgetful trait as a trauma response? There's been a lot of instances where I know personally, like, I don't remember nothing. Mm-hmm. And recently, in a conversation I was having, it just came to me that, like, I was really going through something from, like, middle school, throughout high school. And when I look at some people, I'm curious to know if they dealt with similar things, and if they did, how have they dealt with them? If them having two parents was as beneficial as society make it. Mm-hmm. So that's really just kind of what I'm hinting at.
Yeah.
Because I've seen children go the wrong direction with both parents. Mm-hmm. I've also seen children go the right direction with one parent. Either way, society makes one or the other so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I get the disadvantage. Mm-hmm. But society try to make it as if the result of one will always end the same way.
Yeah, and that's not the case.
Right.
I feel like they say two people can grow up in the same household. One can go one way can go in another. So like for instance, two people can grow up in a household with a drug addict. One can be on drugs and the other one become a doctor who saves lives. I think it's the same for a two-parent household. Kid you not, sometimes I don't envy, but I'm amazed at people who grew up in a one-parent household and their hustle is crazy. Like me growing up in a two-parent household, granted I had the advantage of having a support system in the house, but I also feel like it hindered me from building a crazy hustle because I was so comfortable and sheltered, for lack of better words. So when it's time to get out here and get it, I'm going to get it. But compared to the person who saw their parent like really get at it, it's nothing compared to that. So I think it has like its advantages and disadvantages, depending on how you take it. Now, some people have grown up in a two-parent household and their hustle is crazy because they saw both of their parents get it. And I think that's my sister. My sister is a hustler. But me, on the other hand, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm straight. I'm going to get it, but I'm also pull back once I done got it a little bit.
So how many siblings?
It's two. Older sister, younger brother.
Okay.
So I'm slap dead in the middle.
Right in the middle.
He right in the middle. I was born at St. Vincent, so in Birmingham. And then once we left the hospital, I went to Bessemer.
Mm-hmm. And you've been out there all your life. You proud about it too, ain't you?
Yes, I am. Because I say ER instead of A, so people don't believe it.
So y'all know how to fight out there.
That's what they say.
Oh, you wouldn't know?
I wouldn't know. I went to a private school. It's probably in me, though. It's definitely probably in me.
Your siblings fight a lot?
I don't think so. I think it's because we know our bloodline, how angry, how intense we can get. So I think we're good at controlling it. Like, for sure.
How do you get when you're angry?
I get quiet first.
And then?
I'm getting quiet.
Okay, so give me the steps. Step by step, like, okay, you just got pissed off and it started, what happened?
I got pissed off, I'm getting quiet first. Because I'm trying to calculate what to say. And I'm trying to calm myself down because my words are lethal. Like, I'll say something, I think it's a good 3. And everybody else be like, nah, that's a 10. So I sit there and I have to think about it. I be like, hold up, 9. So then after, I come in very apologetic. I be like, I try to take ownership, but then if they don't catch it or they be like, nah, you did it, I be like, so now at that point it's just coming out, words coming out. And then after I say all I gotta say, I gotta walk away. So I've never gotten, I guess, violent with my hands or anything because I feel like my words do enough.
So when you get upset, you don't want to hear nothing else?
Because I got to comprehend what just happened.
You got to comprehend what you just said.
I got to comprehend what I said and what they said. Yeah. To make sure I heard what I heard. Even if I don't get immediately quiet, I'm going to repeat back to make sure that I understood you said what you think you said.
Yeah. And
then at that point, now I got to get quiet. I have to woosah before I just go in.
What pissed you off the most?
Being ignored. Don't ignore me. Do not ignore me. And I'm not even this. I ain't even that bad. Like, I give a person 24 hours to respond back. Because I can guarantee you touch your phone before you went to sleep and when you woke up, or either or. So knowing that your phone has been in your hand and you're ignoring me, that's a that's a red flag. And you can't say you didn't see it because you saw it.
So boom, you call, you get a response finally, and then after 24 hours, like, what does that look like to you?
I need another response. Because for me, I feel like it's just if we're coming from a romantic relationship, it's a check-in. Because I'm not going 24 hours without thinking about my mate. If I think about you, then I'm going to address you. It's just no way I'm going to be like, oh, I wonder what he's doing, and not asking what he's doing. Like, that's stupid to me. I'm going to address you. And I'm big on people just being like, hey, babe, it's a crazy day today. I might not, get around to calling you later, but hope you have a good day. I'm set for 24 hours. You address the situation, and we moving on. So I'm really like not that hard. I'm super simple.
I don't know. Maybe.
I am simple. Just address me and I'm good. I just want to know that I'm thought of. And I think that goes back to, the abandonment situation. Mm-hmm. So just let me know that I'm thought of and we good to go. Let's move on with life.
So what if it's a situation where, like, they actually are busy, like where they can't talk to you for that 24 hours?
What they doing? Because it's just I can't wrap my head around people being that busy. It's truly impossible for me to wrap my head around somebody being that busy, because I've experienced people who have a lot on their plate and they still address me. So it would have to make sense. Even Barack Obama made time for his family at 6 p.m. for dinner. So if the president can do it when he running the country, I believe a business owner can do it.
Got you. Not that astronaut. NASA better make something happen, huh? I said, what if that astronaut? NASA better make something happen.
I think at that point I'll understand. Don't just go in space and I don't know you in space. And then you come back and be like, babe, I was in space the last, week. Wait, what? Why did I not know that? Clearly I ain't that important for you not to tell me something like that.
You went to the moon, nigga? The moon? You was at the fucking moon?
Of all the things.
Now you even more mad.
I am. Because then you can't show me proof because AI is just crazy nowadays. So it's just kind of like, you want me to, come on now.
It is.
So, I ain't believing it.
Well, that give me another thought. How do you think being independent shapes? No, that's not it. Does being a strong woman and does being a strong independent woman leave women in the waiting room longer than they should in terms of finding a man?
If you don't know how to handle it, there's a time and place for everything. Before, I tell people all the time, I believe I was like an alpha female. You couldn't tell me that what I said out my mouth was wrong. But yeah, I had a friend come along and his whole goal was to make me more feminine. Me knowing where to place that independence. So I believe if you don't handle it with care, there's a possibility. Because at the end of the day, some men may not want such an aggressive woman. So you can be independent and not aggressive. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You can be, because that helps a household run. I tell people all the time, I don't feel like the man is the head, but the head can't turn without the neck. The neck is your support. You don't want a weak neck as a man. You want a woman who can stand her own, but at the same time, her understanding that she's the support and not, the head. So for instance, if my husband goes in or he can't make $1 million closing one day, he should be able to have me go do it and can know that I can guarantee closing the deal. So I look at it from that standpoint. So just knowing when to wear your independent hat.
What do you think are signs of a woman who is emotionally unavailable? What does that look like?
Oh, she ain't gonna make time. She's not gonna make time. I would say she's probably quick to react, quick to respond. I feel like a woman emotionally available, because I used to be emotionally unavailable. So one who lacks that, I feel like might be super emotional. And that it sounds like it contradicts itself, but if I'm too emotional, then I'm not listening to the other person's emotions, which means I'm emotionally unavailable to that person. I'm available to my own emotions because clearly it's like a river just moving up and down. But as far as being emotional to the other person, then I'm not there.
What about, do you think it's the same for men?
No. I feel like if a man is emotionally unavailable, he's not quick to react. He just don't react. So he's very like nonchalant. And that's annoying. Because what Cash Doll say? Chalant me. Chalant me. I need to be chalanted.
Chalant me.
That's my girl.
So in terms of relationship, what's something that people tolerate that they shouldn't? No, specifically, what is something that young women tolerate out of men that they shouldn't today?
A lack of effective communication. If you can't communicate with me, you can't run my household. It requires communication. Even if it's not a lot of communication, it needs to be effective. You need to be able to deliver a message to me effectively so that I can maneuver and move on. So I feel like a lot of young women probably just let men just give them BS responses and they just go about it. Because then that leaves you assuming. I need direct, effective communication. Or else I'm going to be a terror to society.
Do you feel like you being direct is intimidating to people? Have you been in a situation where men or women have been intimidated by you being so forthcoming or direct?
If they have, I don't think they showed it. But then again, I'm also respectfully don't care. Because it's just like, I communicate well. So before it comes out my mouth, I am understanding how I need to relay it to this person. Because I've studied you before I even open my mouth. That's one thing I do. When I walk in a place, I'm very observant. I'm super quiet, maybe the first 5-10 minutes, and you're going to get a, yes, okay, hey. Because I'm studying like how a person responds to certain things. So that way I know when I open my mouth how to deliver a message. But then if I deliver the message and you don't receive it a certain way, I don't care because that's your responsibility. I can't control how you receive a message. I can only control how I deliver it. And as long as I know I delivered it with love and care, then how you receive it is honestly none of my business. Respectfully.
In other words, the truth prevails. Once you put the truth out there, it's up to whoever come in contact with it to do with it as they please.
And then if they don't agree, we can have a conversation. Be like, no, I think you misread that. And I'm open to it. Because again, I'm so direct and headstrong that I'm only in my head. So if you correct me and be like, no, I think you read that wrong, but deliver the message respectfully. So that way we can have a conversation.
Why is it a deal breaker if somebody is just not respectfully? Not necessarily mean they disrespecting you.
Yeah.
But them not having like this respective communication is definitely a fail, and them knowing how to communicate. Why is that a deal breaker?
I wouldn't even say it's a deal breaker. It's more so of a learning curve. Because I see disrespect as in, if I'm talking to you in a mellow voice and you raise your voice and you just moving your head, your neck, your hands, or you get up and you just pumping your fist, to me that's disrespectful. However, I do understand that effective communication is a learned characteristic. So I wouldn't necessarily consider it a deal breaker if we haven't had a conversation on how to effectively communicate. If we have a conversation on communication being better and I see the efforts, then we're good. But if you're just stuck in your ways and you don't want to work on your communication, not just for me, just for anything, then at that point it's a deal breaker. But earlier on, no, we good. We can learn, because I had to learn.
You ever been proposed to?
No. I said that fast. My bad.
It's like you almost
Take
don't
two.
want, you almost don't want, you don't want to be proposed to.
It's not even that. I think I'm in this season now of I'm learning to love me more. I think in the past, I don't think I was proposable. Is that a word? I hope so. We're going to make it one. Trademarked. But I don't think I was, especially for the men that I was going after.
What type of men were you going after?
Hate to sound like that girl, but I guess like high caliber. Like I dated successful men. However, if I'm being honest with myself, I think I was more of a toy then than something serious, because I tolerated so much, because I didn't know my identity. So if they were smart, hindsight looking back, they were smart. If they would have proposed to me, then I think in the season that I'm in now, I probably would have thought something was wrong with them.
What's a high caliber man?
For me, someone who has character, integrity, ambition, substance. It's not necessarily, for me, it's not necessarily a money thing, but financially stable. There's not like a number, let me say it that way. There's not a number, but financially stable for sure. Character speaks volumes. A spiritual relationship with God. Substance. If I had to sum all that up, they have to have substance.
And those guys had all that.
For sure. And of course they had money, but but hindsight again, they just had substance. Mm-hmm. I could have put on the front. Let me say that. I could have put on the front to show up as the perfect wife, but anybody who was of good discernment and wise would have saw the trauma and the childhood damage bleeding out. So that's why, one, I've never been proposed to, and two, I'm kind of good right now.
You don't even want to be proposed to?
Not right now. Not in the next year, for sure.
Let me find out how Girl Summer got the best of you.
It ain't that. I'm getting ready to go to school, and that's my primary focus. My primary focus is school and my podcast. Unless you can come in and be like, hey, babe, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to handle it. This, that, and the other. Like, unless you come and take that burden off of me, then ain't no sense in getting down on one knee. That ain't that right. I would not try to do that. But no, that's really it. You would have to literally come in and be like, I got this. Tell me what your vision is. Let me make it happen. And pretty much take that off of me so that my focus is wanting to create this family. So